Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And I see that you guys are all joined up. And Bella, hi, hon. Human, I saw what you wrote. Utility. We might talk a little bit about that. Good morning, everyone. I cannot tell how the camera looks. I've been messing around with lenses and oh, Lord, I'm messing around with everything. It's really good to see you guys. I have a lot on my mind today, actually. Busy day. Yeah, hi, Kate. Thank you. And hi, Namby Pamby 94. Welcome to our show. Welcome to our show. So today I thought we would go through an article that I like. And I have a couple of things I want to talk about. It's going to segue a couple of places, you know. So I'll show you what we're going to do first. I just can't. I have to get it together. 11 o'clock for me is early because by the time I get here, I've been taking care of all kinds of stuff. Hi, T-Bone. I'm guiding the ship today. And Kate, Kameshwari Kate is guiding the ship today. So here we go. I'm going to do the share overlays and get on with you. And let's talk about this woman, Emma, first, before we do this, because that's a whole other thing. Emma, her name is Emma Maris, and she is a writer. And this is an article for The Atlantic, which probably no right-winger could even understand or read, but there we go. Emma Harris, she looks like a super lovely person, and this is her Twitter. I'm trying to get everything to match. The screens, and there's all this stuff to play with. I can be bigger. One pill makes you. Yeah, right. Okay. There we go. Let's not, right? Let's not and say we did. So she writes about plants and animals and food and culture and the West, which is, I think, ultra cool. So we shall look at that article, which is what the title of my show was. The utility of white hot rage. White hot rage. Living in an era of climate change might make us feel guilt or grief or anger, but how do those who think about these problems every day keep going? And this is something that I watched Sam on Hambone on Humpty Dumpty Tribe's last video. He was talking about the same thing. Like, how do you keep going? And I don't like to totally label and say, okay, the doomosphere. I don't think I'm a doomer. I am a person that has a lot of different hats to wear in my thinking. I can't just, of course, I'm not a raging right winger or anything, but this made me think seeing this article. So we're going to go through this, and then I have another one possibly from Al Jazeera, and green gaslighting, another face of climate denialism. All the talk about net zero measures and climate resilience investments is just a mass deception. This guy is, I did pronounce it, Vijay Kolanjvardi, and he's a postdoc at the Institute of Development Policy at the University of Antwerp. So we're going to look at his article too. I wish I could get rid of those ads. And I think that I think it's going to be a decent day. So it was over here. Scott Andrews, actually, I tweeted it and then he retweeted it. Scott, are you with us, Scott? Are you here, hon? Okay, so it's going to be a good day. Good morning. And I don't actually today. I don't have a video. I have no video. I didn't make anything. I didn't do anything. I was busy yesterday. You know, I prepare for my shows the night before for Wednesday. So I work Tuesday afternoons. I work about 6 hours. Yesterday, I was actually studying something. And I was studying some software that I would like to have. And, try and learn. There's nothing wrong with learning. When we come to a certain point and you ask the question, well, what is what is the what is life? What is life about? And at my age, I say, well, here I am. What is it that I want to do in life? What is it? What do I want to do? What do you want to do in life? I mean, how do we get through every day? And as Sam says, it was like walking your foot in one world and another foot in another world. But I don't know if I feel like that. I feel like my worlds are all the same, except for the world of where I live is a bit different. But I haven't been back to the antique store, which is okay. I haven't been sick either. So since I didn't go to the antique store anymore, except to clean it up once a week and add anything that may be sold, which I doubt it. So let's take a look at utility, since Human, and I don't know if you would still hear, had said something back in, uh, if I could find it, well, about utility. So here we are. What is utility? And let me see if I can make this bigger and me a little bit tinier. You'd think you have this all done right, right? I want you to be able to see it. That's the whole point. Utility. In economics, it refers to the usefulness or enjoyment of a consumer. A consumer can get from a service or good. So economic utility can decline as the supply of a service or good increases. Marginal utility is the utility gained by consuming an additional unit of a service or good. So is my channel, do we have utility here? Yes, because this is a good service. Utilities mean useful features or something useful to the home, such as electricity or gas, water, cable, and telephone. Utilities, now that's utilities, but what is social utility? So you go to Google and then there's 50. Social utility is defined as those benefits of a product or service that satisfy interpersonal needs. So okay, so there's 30 of you here, and we're talking about utility. And is that am I helping your interpersonal your interpersonal needs? Well, we'll see. Let's go on to this. Let's go into this article, and it's just nice to see you too, Rich, Diana, and Christopher Spavins. This is awesome. I'm so happy that you're here. Also yesterday, the thoughts came in. Well, your fake internet friends and all that. And I don't feel that way at all. I don't feel that way at all. I think that we've created something where we pretty well know a lot of each other from either Facebook or Twitter or here. I've met so many people that are wonderful. So I can't put it down at all. It's been, I've used the internet, I think, for good, for a good reason. Uh, I don't watch porn on the internet. A lot of people do. Hey, if you like it. I don't even know if they still let you. I don't even know what. Oh, wait. Yes, they do. Because I was on Twitter. I did a search for something, and I came up with homosexual sex. It was like, oh, okay, these guys are getting it on, and that's on Twitter. So, hon, I guess you guys can find anything you want on Twitter. All right. You really can. I mean, it wasn't something I was looking for, but I watched. I watched it. What the hell? And they didn't show faces. It was just body parts. So I found it, hey, it was what it was, but it popped up, so I looked at it. All right. So usually a story like this starts with a quick roundup of alarming statistics and a reminder of all the latest climate disasters, heat domes, floods, hurricanes, etc. I'm going to skip this part. Most of us get it already. We understand with our rational minds that climate is changing, and we feel that it is changing in the deepest pit of our guts, where dread and fury live. A poll conducted by Yale and George Mason University researchers in September found that 70% of Americans are worried about climate change, and 47% describe themselves as angry about it. Okay, are we angry about it? Of course we're angry about it. Who wouldn't be that has a fucking half a brain? So I'm in both of these groups. In my 15 years as an environmental journalist, and you know what? I'm going to give her an applause because she is doing something that I wish I could do, but I can't even sit down long enough. I can make videos. Writing anymore, and I used to be quite a writer, but a lot of it was human resources, technical writing, but I was good at it. So she's always been able to ground myself on bedrock optimism that humanity is going to get its act together. So lately, though, as the pandemic has dragged onward towards its third year, the West has continued to burn. The drought has parched part of my world, and climate action. I think she's from Oregon. Climate action. Where am I? See, I got to shut up. Has stalled at the federal level, even with the Democrats in control, and that has changed. I am burned out. For some people, this might manifest as fatigue or disengagement. For me, it's anger on a nearly daily basis. I can feel the blood sizzling in my arms. Living, I think that this really, reading this, I think we need some music here. And I have to figure out which one is going to work. Okay, here we go. So living in the era of climate change makes us feel lots of things. Okay? Guilt for our own part in heating the planet. Grief for what we have lost and will lose. Fear about the future. And anger at selfish decisions made by powerful people who got us to this moment. How do those who think about climate change every day get up in the morning? Taking care of their mind and body is a priority for all of the people I spoke with for this story. But so was something else. Using their anger. Okay? There's either always a slow burn of anger and like a raging fire of sadness or vice versa. Mary Hegler, an essayist and co-host of the podcast Hot Take, told me. When I'm in deep despair, I'm doing all the self-care. But when I'm in deep anger, that's when it's time to get active. When she's sad, many seasoned climate thinkers, she tries to show compassion for herself. But when she's angry, she channels that fire towards her writing and podcasts and videos. Me and T-Bone, that's here with us. T-Bone. Yeah, my new friend, T-Bone. I'm visiting you. Okay. When she's sad, so she gets angry. Okay, so hint. Like she says, she channels the fire towards her writing. Like a lot of us have creative outlets. Kate has creative outlets. They've got a radio station. She's got things going on up there in Vancouver. Okay, so hint, it's not your daily commute or even your annual vacation. It is fossil fuel companies and the politicians who have served them. You've got to be petty, she said, even if that means replying to inane greenwashing tweets from fossil fuel companies. There is such a thing as righteous anger because that is not about you and your personal ego. It really is the anger you're feeling on behalf of the vulnerable. Tequila Chunglaipa, the director of the LOCA initiative at the University of Wisconsin at Madison, told me the initiative is a home for faith leaders who want to engage with climate change. Chungalpa herself learned about transforming anger into love from her upbringing as a Tibetan Buddhist, as well as from Black women leaders such as the late Bell Hooks. That kind of anger can galvanize and create change, she said. And the trick is to figure out how to direct it in a way that's productive. If you ruminate on your anger without doing anything about it, it can make you snappish and irritable with those you love. It can boil inside you. It needs an outlet. So what better than activism and advocacy? That means showing up and doing the work. Joining a climate-focused organization, which, God, I did for years here. I was with Allegheny, a little environmental group here. because we had to make sure that weren't putting fracking brine water on the fucking roads in the wintertime, and that the landfill here wasn't burning too much methane out and choking us all. So, but of course, the pandemic has dreadfully changed that. I don't know. I'd like to start that up again, maybe, but I have a lot of things going on. Hi, Umar. Umar's with us. Hi, hon. And Vegematic. Great. This is awesome. So, showing up, donating time and money. Oh, boy. This article touches me because in the past, when I had money, and I'm going to tell you guys a story after this, because not everybody knows my story. If you can spare them or pushing climate action at your workplace, church, or child's school, doing collective work can also help with guilt because you are actually doing something about the issue. Leslie Davenport, a psychologist and author of Emotional Resiliency in the Era of Climate Change, would put this trajectory wait a minute, where are we? Oh, I'll put this in the category of external strategies for staying mentally healthy. Note that these are all collective actions, which not only are more effective at stopping climate change than reducing their own emissions, but also place us in community with others who feel and share these complex feelings. You don't have to jump in the deep end of hardcore activism and protest, Davenport told me. No matter what your current skills are, there's a way to use them to support climate justice. Do what you're good at. Hegler agreed. If you can't do the work, care for the people who can. And a collective work can actually change things. This fact that the current worst case scenario is only a demi-Armageddon is absolutely because of widespread social movements demanding action on climate change. And anger can still be directed outward in the form of action, but it can still singe the source. People engaged in climate work also need internal strategies, that hits the heart, hits the guts, for dealing with anger and other intense emotions, Davenport describes as more sophisticated forms of self-care that calm our nervous system. They include keeping ourselves physically healthy and well-rested, taking time out with tools such as meditation, exercise, and outdoor activity, my favorite. Gardening, but it's too cold right now, and I haven't even started my celery or my microgreens. Nothing. Okay, so for this woman who's teaching a course on coping with eco-anxiety and climate grief, wow, spending time outdoors in the very ecosystems she is most worried about is grounding and healing. The source of the greatest suffering and the greatest strength, she said. For Sarah Myrie, a paleoclimatologist who trains early career scientists to be climate leaders, making prints on the subject matter. Climate change has proved deeply therapeutic. It allows her a contemplative space to feel her feelings, but also an opportunity to create a physical object that externalizes her feelings. I don't feel like it is sitting inside me anymore, she told me. It feels lighter. Some, including me, may also need therapy or medication. No, fuck that. Just weed. To cope with their rage, even if that rage is rational and justified. Employing such internal strategies does make sense, but the fact that we need them makes me furious all over again. We shouldn't all have to be investing time in complex coping techniques to keep ourselves from exploding with rage or going numb with despair. Advice on burnout often stresses that you can't fix it with self-care, that you have to fix your working conditions. But what if conditions causing burnout are a global pattern of fossil fuel-based capitalism? Davenport has said that climate change, which is an ever-present crisis, causes ambient anxiety. It raises our background levels of tension and worry. But the pandemic is also causing ambient anxiety. For people of color, racism does the same thing every day. For indigenous people, colonialism exists as a constant present tense stressor as well. Poverty creates an immense burden of ambient anxiety. Many activists are thus working under ambient stress levels that no amount of coping techniques can neutralize. The paradox of working towards a just, truly sustainable society is that you have to do it in an unjust, toxic one that makes both the fight and just living needlessly hard. Anger can fuel action, but we can't live on rage alone. So I asked everyone I interviewed for the story to tell me about a moment of happiness or joy they have experienced recently. Now, guys, think about it. Any kind of happiness or joy. Uh, Myri talked about the physical pleasure of skiing. Good for her. For Changalpa, it was watching some dogs just bowling in the snow. For Davenport, it was time spent with her grandchildren. For Hegler, it was walking the streets of New Orleans shortly after moving there this year. I was so giddy and euphoric to be here, she said. In all of these cases, joy was felt not as a sense of contentment with the overall state of things, because the overall state of things is messed up. But even in crisis, joy presents itself at sparkling moments, experienced as what Davenport calls a visceral quality of aliveness. Allowing ourselves to be energized by those moments without guilt is important. No one is going to fix climate change by being bummed out about it 24 hours a day. Okay, coffee break. Fix climate change. We should accept joy when it comes and enjoy it without a particle of guilt. But if we don't feel a lot of overall hope right now, that's okay. We don't need optimism or hope to keep showing up for climate work. We can do it out of pure spite if we need, until our optimism returns. Even as I work on my own burnout, I plan to stay mad. And that is Emma Maris. And I'm telling you, I really, really liked it. I thought that it really expressed some of the things that I feel and that we all feel, and that possibly, we need to talk about. And lest anybody try to make that into a bad thing. No. So, hi, Caleb Rochester. I see you with us. Climate John and Veg. I wanted to say something to you and T-Bone, the two other video people here. You're both amazing. And I'm learning and I'm doing better. And we are getting our anxiety and working our angst and our climate change depression, our capitalism depression, our being broke depression. We're doing it with videos, and videos can be cool. I'm going to try to change something for a minute. So videos, making videos, doing videos, that can be cool. And playing with software, which I'm doing right now. I don't know what's going on. Come on. You guys coming up? Well, anyway, I do play with it. I love it. So climate anxiety, we are just whatever, but it's nice that we can see that other people feel like we do. All right. So let's look at some of your comments. Hello, Jim. Hello, hello, hello. And while we're doing this, I'm going to do something. I want to play with this. Well, you guys are, and you're doing great chats, so I want to make the color a little brighter and see if that saves. Okay. Scott, my videos are awesome. So are T-Bone's. Oh my God. Oh, T-Bone. And so, well, Vegematic's videos, I mean, he's a graphic artist. He's a graphic artist from the get-go. So I cannot compete with that kind of graphic art, but it's just beautiful. I could try to learn it. That's just what I'm always doing. Trying to learn it. Trying to learn everything. All right. So before I go on with the next thing, which is the green gaslighting in this interesting article. Me. See, some of y'all don't know me, and I was a 20-year research HR director at a university after living a life as 18 years before that as a bartender. And I put myself through school. I was married once, had a daughter, 20 years. She's 33. She's a non-breeder. Second thing. So I move, life changes. I retire medically because I have a terrible back. I'm on my works disability, which I was supposed to have till 65. I am very messed up in my back. No matter what I do here, I just make myself worse living the way I live. But I like my homestead. So I'm not changing that unless I can't move. All right. So my story is this, and the system stinks. And I'm not supposed to really talk about it, but I moved here and I was married. And I, let's see, I've talked about it, but he had a motorcycle accident and then he was helicoptered to the hospital. And a week later, a tornado hit us. And then he had a heart attack in 2018 and became, it wasn't good. I can't, it was a tough relationship, and he moved out in May. I you know, it's I don't want to do this on here. I'm just going to tell you, you could look it up. Everybody knows what a narcissist is. Okay, so anyway, and it's not just the buzzword for me of the day because it took me years to figure it out. And then add insult to injury, the insurance company that was paying me because I did this along on stupid live streams on Facebook, which was something that I did. Well, they investigated me and can't do anything. I still can't lift more than 10 pounds. I live in a back brace and a neck brace. But they did what they did. They kicked me off, you know. They kicked me off and they devastated uh he didn't have any Trump signs actually. He hated Trump. Rich Diana says, "Did I get Trump?" No, he hated Donald Trump. If he was a Trumper, then he would have been gone in 2017, and I would have had a lot less heartbreak. Well, not heartbreak. It wasn't even heartbreak. It was whatever. It wasn't even that. So the whole point is, and I'm not feeling sorry for myself because I never sit on the pity pot. Shit happens to people. Everything I did to myself, I take responsibility for. I'm looking directly at you. I took responsibility for all the stupid shit. Hey, Cindy. She sat. See how beautiful hers was? She was happy to be alive today. Yesterday, I sat in a snowy field for a few hours with a dying draft horse. Oh, Cindy. Cindy. We love you. That's like quite lovely, and sad and heartbreaking. Yeah, Cindy's amazing. She has a homestead. She's really fucking cool. I'd like to visit Cindy. Oh, I love you all too. Well, anyway, so they kicked me off that, so I didn't have that. And then should I be saying this? Anyway, they said I know that they couldn't fly a drone over my property. And at the time my husband probably would have shot it down. I've said that before too. They talked to my neighbors who told them, "Hey, she's disabled." Uh, T-Bone, motorcycles, exes, sad song, and something, something about Texas. Hey, I was in Texas. My brother lived there 15 years. We're still alive to tell the stories. Life is cruel in ways, but we're here, aren't we? Yeah, we are. We're here. That's why I do all the things I do. I'm busy from the time I get up to the time I go to sleep, but it hurts. That's all. I just live with pain. And I always tell people pain is my friend now. You get to the point where you have it for so long, and mine is in my neck, and everybody knows I wear back brace to sit, and sometimes I wear a neck brace to work. And stop poor me. I'm just telling you my story. It's my channel, right? Uh, but I did get Social Security, and they kicked me off, and then it was 2 years of litigation, blah, blah. Suffice it to say, how my husband moved out was because I got that, and I could get him gone. And since May, I haven't been happier, and I hardly ever leave the house or the property, because everybody knows I'm a gardener, and I hope that this year to be making more gardening videos and growing videos and things like that when the season comes. Bring you along with me and make videos for people and share that because it's a great experience to grow food and can it, and I don't even have to go out. Yes, Susan. Hi, Susan. So Susan said, I lost a horse a couple years ago. I know it was horrible, but I find getting out in nature in my kayak on a nice quiet lake and enjoying nature in that way, it brings me peace. And Susan's been here. Susan's my buddy, and she's been here many times, many, many, many times. And I would love a kayak. I would actually. I would because there's a beautiful lake not far from me that we used to go canoeing on, and it was really wonderful. Hey, Vacna, those who end up in the grave with a perfect, healthy body must have a boring life. God damn right. Shit, she gets that. Yay! You're right. You're right. T Bone, good things come from the pain. I guess so. And hey, Kate's giving me the shot. Environmental Coffee House. Let's all visit Cindy. Yeah, Cindy, we're good. We're coming over. Yeah, we love you too, Lightning Rod. See, it's just one of those days. Everybody. I'm glad that we're all. Oh, Tanya. Tanya's been to my home, so it's not just not in the doomosphere. And I was lucky. I have a house, and that's a whole other thing. I'm still in the middle of a fucking divorce. Although he moved out, and I don't care who hears it. I own the house, um, because I inherited the money from my uncle, and I bought this goddamn place. Believe it or not, for $88,000. And yes, that's a fucking boatload of money, but it's really not in the United States to buy a house. And I'm saying it honestly. And then had to spend a lot to fix it up, which I did. So there you go. I live here. I have the garden. I have my place. Um, things things are not bad. I just don't leave. I don't spend any money. I don't burn any gas. I do a lot around here. So there you go. That's the story of my life. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. Do I have a here, let's kick that down the road. Yeah. Kick it. Wait, I like to kick the cans. Let's do that. All right, let's kick the can. Let's kick our shit ass cans and be happy and do the good things in life, you know? And even when I bring on people that are tough and yes, oh, yes, of course I do. Yes, I do. We had a tornado hit us. I have homeowners. Although I can go off on a little tangent there with insurance companies. They don't pay for anything on your property. So all the beautiful trees that are now just stumps and well, they're houses for the critters. A lot of a lot of the wood went to heat my home. Yeah, Veg says 88,000 wouldn't buy a garden shed in Canada. Listen, I know. Okay, my uncle, and it wasn't because he was a lawyer, but he never worked and made a lot of money. It's because my brother sold his house in L.A. So that was like really nice of my uncle to do that. He had no children, so I mean, I'm blessed, and he's right about it. And I have almost 6 acres. So, I live in the middle of nowhere, but I love living in the middle of nowhere. I love everything about where I am, and I love my solitude. I can't tell you guys how happy I am in solitude. Holy shit. I never thought that being alone could be so healing and spiritual. And yes, it's hard and everything's breaking and has to be fixed. And I have a room in an antique store that I can't work at anymore, but I could have my stuff and try to sell excess crap. So there you go. What do you guys do? I know Kate has a lot of things she does. She cans, and she look at that. I live in downtown Vancouver. 88 will get a parking space for a year. All right, that was in 2015. Yeah, thank you. I've worked very hard. I can't say my ex didn't work on things. I mean, he did do things, but there was always a price. That's how I have never talked about this like this before. Oh my God, you guys have no idea. um, yes, and Bila, who's been here too. I do believe I've learned more from horses than people. Shalel. Yes, horses are beautiful. I have horses right across the street, so I don't need any. And when the horses got out, about I don't know, 2 weeks ago, I ran over there and I helped him get his 2 horses back, which was really nice. Um, so there's horses all over. Where I live, it's horse central. Yeah, there's always a hidden cost to marriage. Yeah. You could say that again. Oh my. Um Hi. I recall asking my widowed mother-in-law, a pretty lady, why she never remarried. She responded, "Why would I want to do that?" Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. You know what's going to get the environmental coffee house flush of the day? Axes. Let's get rid of them. Bye. Yay. Rich says, I'm never this obnoxious, but goddamn, I don't even know what's going on, and I'm in the middle of all this stupid. It seems like my life. Yay! Okay, now you know I'm playing. My life is a series of legal issues. It's been like this since fucking 2000. Uh, I don't know. Human says my story's the same as Sandy, except I have a go, which is equal to 5 cats. Oh, a go or a goat? A goat. Oh, you have a dog. Yeah, well, I almost got a dog. And when the guys came to dig up the front of my house from the leaking, the floods of this summer, they had German Shepherd puppies. And oh, it was so hard not to do it. But you know what? If I had a puppy right now, between everything I have to do here, firewood, 7 cats, keeping this place, making sure outside's okay, all this stuff. A dog, I'd probably be out of my mind. I'd probably be insane by now because it was a puppy. But I would have liked it because a German Shepherd's a good dog. I always had Rottweilers. I've had 2 Rottweilers. Well, one was my daughter's, Dirk, and one was mine, Zoe. And that's a whole other story how Zoe ended up with Mike, my ex boyfriend before this husband, because I had a boyfriend between the husbands. Yeah. Yep. And they all had long hair. Well, not my first husband. He cut it. Oh, God. Look at that. Keep talking. Great therapy. Can't keep it bottled up. Not healthy for the sane ones, right? I hear you. Well, I think I'm pretty sane, actually. 20 years as but I like academia. And here's another thing that really, this whole pandemic, I've wrestled with because I am an academic. And unfortunately, and I'm going to show you something. Maybe I'm a geek. I'm going to show you what I watch to learn. Um, yeah, I'm going to show you what I watch to learn while you guys are talking. I'll pull it up, and these people are virologists, and let me see if I can find them. They're virologists, and and they do shows, and they actually talk about like neuroscience. I have to make it lower. Okay. So I'm going to find the one they do. I just love Vincent Racaniello because they're interesting. And here, I'm going to put this on and show you this is what I look at besides environmental shit. Let's get this up. All right. So, Microbe TV, and they are virologists from all these different institutions. And I wasn't going to do this. Bye, Caleb. Um, I just like to learn. Take care. And they teach. What they teach is so cool. They teach this week in virology, the week in neuroscience, the week in microbiology, the week in parasitism. And I'm going to tell you the tick one was really interesting. The tick one was interesting to me. He talked about ticks and all of these different aspects of tick bites and tick. It's like I feel like I missed the boat somewhere when I was younger on science because I am such a geek and love science. That's why I guess I loved climate change. But this one, let me see if I could find a clip. I don't know if I can find a clip, but it's a good channel. They teach. And so when I'm walking around, can you hear oh no, you're not going to be able to hear it because I've got this on. But anyway, they were talking about a lot of interesting things. So if you're looking for something like really cool and you're a geek, to me, listening to the virologists, the toxicologists, the all of these scientists is so interesting. You can only get so much of you can only get so much of politics and doom. And here, this is just hard science, okay? And it's not, they get a little slanted politically. They are fucking virologists and immunologists. They talk about how the mRNA vaccine was made, how it works, what the virus spikes look like. I mean, I learned so much. And I'm not coming from a pro anti. I'm coming from a goddamn academic pedantic viewpoint here. So that's what I do. And it is interesting as shit. So there you go, Vincent. I gave you a shout out on my channel, which is teeny teeny. They were teeny. And they only got bigger because of COVID, because they could answer questions that people had and they weren't getting, and they said, "Holy shit." So he had the course. I know I'm taking a long time on this, but this is what I do. He had the course of what is a virus, and these were virology lectures, and it's not just COVID, but they were, showing all of this stuff about viruses and your body, virums. I mean, this is fucking fabulous shit. All right, so go straight to the source. You get information. You get good stuff. You get real stuff. You don't get politicized bullshit. Although sometimes they do talk about that they're frustrated with the whole anti-vax movement because they feel that there is a wonderful vaccine out there and we would be done with this. But this is, again, I personally on my channel, Environmental Coffee House, we don't talk about the pandemic. We don't talk about COVID because it's a shit show. And I'm not. I absolutely refuse to get involved in that shit show, other than I kind of feel like these guys about the vaccine because I've seen it, work. But they said look at that. Virology is amazing. It's an integrative science. Oh my God. If I was younger, I'd go back to school. So, where are you guys? Let me find you in the chat. See, you enjoying this? So anyway, yeah, that's what I would do. All right. Should we go to the green gaslighting article? I'm going to ask you guys, or do we just chit chat and call it a day? You know, it's 44 minutes. I think I'm going to put it in the notes because I think we pretty much know what this is going to be about. Green gaslighting, another face of climate denialism. Yeah. Well, I think, they're talking about carbon credits. I don't want to read it. I've decided I'm not going to read it. I am coming back to you, and I'm going to put myself on this and say, "Hey, guys." All right. So anyway, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, you're bummed out on COVID news. It's like, ugh. I don't even leave the house. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm sheltered. I'm sheltering. I'm sheltering because there's nothing to do, and it's fucking what, 2 degrees? Wait a minute. Let's see. What is it today? Oh, it's 16. It's cold. It's been cold. We had that cold snap. We talked about it the last show. So it's always going down to like -1, and that's when I hear the house crack. The house goes boom. Holy shit. This is when okay. So here we are. I can look at myself on the phone, and then I sit there and go, "Oh my God, I hate watching myself back." Aging is another whole fucking thing. Yes, Susan wants me to ask William Reese in for an interview. I don't even know who I'm having Friday. Yeah. Uh yeah, T-Bone says gaslighting chit chat could be interesting. This one? All right. Anybody else want me to read it? All right, come on, guys. Give me the. Oh, Rich said it was -2. I'm thinking of starting a channel then because viruses and evolution and extinction are part of my bag. Well, that's why I like them. It's all interesting and I love science. I am a science geek. I I mean, I handled every researcher on our campus for 20 years, their research, their people, their personnel, their payroll, I used grant writing I've done. I was a grants accountant. I've done a lot of things in my life. 20 years of that and affirmative action. Oh, okay. I'm not going here. I am going to completely do a segue. I've decided. Yep. I'm going to spend the last, because I only want to keep this to an hour. I'm going to spend the last part of this reading a comment. All right. Totally different. Okay, let's just here. We'll do this. All right. We are changing. We are changing. Here we go. Last night on Facebook, the cesspool that won't let me stream to my own page until April. Well, on Facebook, someone posted, and I don't know if I should pull it up. It was one of these stupid rants by some stupid ass white girl. She looked about 32, and it was all about it was racist as fuck, okay? It was white supremacist racist garbage. And it was I have to do this. I have to do this because this was like it really bugged me. First of all, it bugged me on the person that fucking shared it, okay? All right. And the second of all is that none of it's true. So I'm going to read you a reply to a racist piece of shit on Facebook that one of my racist piece of shit friends put up. I won't read the thing. I'm going to read somebody's reaction, okay? And I don't know, I'm not going to show it to you. Okay, here's the reaction. So, wrong on so many levels. All history taught in schools is white history, and minorities have to fight to have their stories told. Ms. Ashley, that was the person that posted that, like, oh, black people, you have a black Miss America. What if white people had that? All that fucking horseshit. Miss Ashley is so deeply racist, she doesn't have the ability to recognize it. Know why the Chamber of Commerce doesn't need a describer? Because the white is implied, just like American applies white. Just ask McConnell. Every President's Day is White Pride Day. And every month celebrates white history. Every network is white entertainment television, and minorities have had to struggle for years for representation. Christmas has a white Santa, a white Jesus, and heaven help you if you celebrate Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or Ramadan. She is clueless. She's ranting racist tropes disguised as logical arguments because her white privilege has trained her to believe this claptrap. Whites committed genocide against Native Americans to build this nation. Okay. Whites used slave labor to build our capital. Whites committed genocide against Jews and gypsies in the 40s. Whites created the Ku Klux Klan during Reconstruction to instigate what would become the Jim Crow laws that prevented blacks from voting. Whites scream about teaching of these things to their children because it would make them feel guilty. Well, Lily White, Karen Kirby, Ashley, why feel guilt as the white race is so brilliantly innocent? My skin is white, but people like you identify me as a Jewish American. I didn't hang that label on myself. St. Patrick's Day, white holiday to celebrate the Irish, the same Irish white Americans considered a subhuman in the 19th century. Columbus Day, a white A white holiday to celebrate Italians, the same Italians your white ancestors called dagos and wops and wouldn't serve in your restaurants or shop. You don't mean white, you racist bitch. You mean white Anglo-Saxon Protestant and consider all others inferior. White Republicans are changing election laws to disenfranchise minorities because they won't vote for them. Why? Because they think, just like this addled bitch, Trumpism has become a cult and has had the balls to lay his racism out in an open, and whites flock to his banner, crawling out from under the rocks they've been buried beneath as our multicultural nation became fairer and inborn advantages because you're white were being eliminated for a more just society. Ban Muslims, ban Mexicans, ban Africans, ban Indians, ban Asians, but please let all the Norwegians and Swedes you can entice to come, which they don't, because they don't want to live in a country that celebrates clueless bigots like cute little Karen, anti-Semitism violence up 250%, anti-Asian violence up 370%, because you're no longer afraid that you have an orange leader. Mass shootings, school shootings, overwhelmingly committed by whites that embrace these same ideas. Every organization she mentioned had to be created to provide a voice for non-whites. DeSantis in Florida is passing laws to prevent whites from being exposed to the sins of their past. The Crusades? White Christians slaughtering brown Arabs in the name of Christ? A Jew and a Semite with brown skin and brown eyes? Yes, whites have accomplished quite a bit to form Western civilization, but to deny they did it on the backs of oppressed people and whitewash the violence, the savagery, the brutality, and the treatment of non-whites as less than human, that's on clueless assholes like our Karen here. And if you agree with this blatantly misinformed and twisted logic, you are part of the problem. Immigrants made this country what it is, and living in denial while vilifying those that don't look like you, to deny them the small change to participate in this society, is a sickness of the soul you need to address. Fuck her and everyone that thinks like her. This Jewish American and every African American, Asian American, Latino American, Native American, and Muslim, Indian, Arab American know better. Goddamn racists like her trying to reduce our democracy to rubble because their privilege is threatened. I've had more than enough assholes like her. That was written, and I don't really know who it was. I do know the guy's name because he's not on my friends list. But I saw this on somebody I know, which I can't tell you how many fucking people that I know have become disgustingly outward racist. So how did you like that for my ending? And that person I know that put that stupid post on is a complete fucking moron. I mean, probably just thought, oh, yeah, look at that. She's saying, you know what, black people, fuck you. But he is an idiot. And I'm done. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. It is 54 minutes of show. That was, it sounds like a lady with the X. Okay. Hey, that's fine. But you should check out the channel that I put up. Why not? Walk on the wild side. Walk on the wild side. When the end finally gets here, the most racist and savage will rise to the top. History tells us to be true. Every white person should watch I Am Not Your Negro, based on the amazing James Baldwin. I hope you did like that. Yeah. Look at, you know. All right, let's see. Meta. Yeah, I'm fired up. How aggression, wait a minute, how aggression rules. It is so completely bizarre, and wearying and depressing. It's totally bizarre and unique, weird thing, and it's totally creepy and deeply abnormal there. Yeah, we're not depressed. We're just talking what it is. Hi, Kinky Streets. Oh, and Bongo Dave. Well, anyway, look at that. The hatred for Trudeau has blinded people to empathy for kids killed in unmarked graves, and it makes me sad. Yeah, it's really tough. Well, I wrote to the guy. Yeah, it was a good rant. I wrote back to the guy and I told him, right on this person's thing, thank you. Thank you. I basically called this person a clueless fucking moron. I don't have to. Gary, at a time when we need to unite and work for common good of all things, we are dividing and fighting each other. We need to move from fear to love. Yep, so called white evangelical Christians are doing more to foment ancient fear and prejudice than any other group right now. Well, guess what? That is the truth. I'm sorry. It is. And I see it. And you know what I call them? Facebook Christians. All these friends that never go to church. Never. I rode motorcycles with a lot of them. Never go to church. Never talked about anything. Donald Trump became in office and everything on their Facebook is about Jesus and amen. And can I hear an amen and thoughts and prayers and all this horse shit they never did. And they're fucking phonies. And I call them Facebook Christians. I've been to everything. The Catholic Church, I hated the Catholic Church. I hate idolatry and all of the idolatry shit that goes with it. Although the Buddhist is a different one, and my girlfriend, a very good friend, is Buddhist. She's been, and so it doesn't feel as horrible as the Catholic Church. And then the Jewish synagogue, they're all right. They sing a lot. I'm not religious, obviously, so they worship Frankenchrist. I didn't even think I was going to get here, but I'm kind of glad I did. God and guns, that's where I live. And I have I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm not. I have protection. I know how to use it. I've told everybody. I'm trained, so that's that. I went and got trained, and I know how to use it. Uh, but I don't. I only target shoot in the backyard. And I have to wear a neck brace. Yes, much fake Christianity out there. Jesus would be more comfortable. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. That's not hard. Absolutely. That was in the news. Nothing Christian about the politicians of today. No universal health care. None at all. Bad. Terrible. Ugh. I mean, in the United States, we are so fucked up. But how many people do political talk? Everyone. But I'm just more for, I'm a righteous person, and I was really lucky in my career to be an affirmative action officer in my career as the role and be able to meet the most amazing people that I met in my career, in that area. Civil rights, human rights. Boy. Wisconsin allowed over 200 wolves killed. Oh, trophy hunting. Sick people like, period, not for meat. I know. I'm getting stuffed up. I sound it. All right, guys. Well, magical Jesus strikes again. Uh, righteous babe. Yeah, well, Harley Beebe. HARLEYBEBB. That's my license plates on my fat boy, which I am going to ride this year because if I don't ride it this year, I have to wash it and I got to get off the property with it and wash it. So hopefully I will not feel a lot of pain because I love riding, and then I'm going to come home and not want to sell it. But I need a roof. I need a new computer too. And I'm going to maybe do coffee cups. And everybody wants coffee cups, but I'm looking for I'm looking for, I don't know, somebody that can make them that doesn't use. I don't want the printing. Like this was a gift. This is not an ECH one. You are a crazy cat lady. This was from Katie. She's a follower and a friend. So maybe coffee cups. Hi, Mark. Mark, are you still in Topanga? Mark is in Topanga. Yeah, Mark is cool. He lives near my brother. All right. So, oh yeah, the fake Christians. They told me when riding that God was always with me. I told them he better get ready to push. Then I'm low on fuel. And one other thing about bikers, okay, which I noticed during the whole Trump thing too. The people I rode with would never be caught dead with a flag with any president or any really big time. The only thing that they would fly were the POW flags, you know? And then Trump came along, and these people changed in front of my very eyes. I can't stand them. Like, I can't stand so many of them. These people were my friends, and they were flying Trump flags on their motorcycles. And that was when I said, well, I'm done with this shit. I'm done. Because that really, it really changed the way I think about the people I hung out with when they all put their hoods on. All right. Well, anyway, yeah. Yeah, abate flags. That's right. The POW and the abate flags. Exactly. That was our time, Kate. Kate had a motorcycle too. We both had Harleys same time. I started in 1986. I bought my first one. I was a baby. A baby, 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 baby. Oh, most disaster victims I've met with, and there are many, pray rather than demand governments and corporations act on climate change. How do we change that? She's my friend. I know her, this person. Oops, sorry. I know this person also. An amazingly wonderful person. All right, we have a troll thing in the chat. I can't seem to delete it. It doesn't have a ban thing on it. I don't know if you can. Okay, let's see. A brotherhood against totalitarian enactments. Woo! That's heavy. That's heavy. Biker chicks. Yeah, I wore the jacket and the shirt today, actually. I've got my I'm vintage. It is what it is. My boobs take up the whole goddamn thing. Camera. All right, guys. It's been an hour. It's been a fun show. I hope you liked the article. I'm not going to read the other one. I hope you like the passion. You know, we covered a lot. You guys have a most wonderful day. I don't even know who I have on Friday yet, and I don't even know what time. Yeah, well, R.I.P. to your brother, Anthony. I know this has been really tough for you, everybody. Anthony has lost his brother. We love you, Anthony. Oh yeah, yeah. What are they up to? That's right. I've never seen that before. I don't know who's putting them in. I know that during the first election in 2016, all of the Facebook groups were inundated with Macedonia. Okay, and you could run on your show, page, and you see all these people from Macedonia. It's so insane. It's insane. All right, guys. I'm going to end. I love you guys. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show. See you Friday. I like the 3 o'clock time, but you know what? It's either 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern or 9 o'clock at night. I'm going to make a decision. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay, guys. Don't forget, buy me a coffee. And you have been. And people, oh my God. I have to do a show just to thank people. I ain't getting rich, but I'm affording the channel. And I need a new laptop because this one crashes and I have everything attached to it. It gets too hot. I have to put an ice pack under it. I'm hoping to be a very big consumer and hope I can make a purchase of an M1 so that I can do more creative things this way because I found an outlet. All right, we're out of here. So there you go. Bye-bye. I'm shutting that off. Putting this on. Woohoo!